Hello, everybody. This is Bradley Grunner. Today is May 19th, 2016, and I'm coming at you from Queens, New York. We are 2 days out from the New York Pro, and as I said in the previous video, the New York Pro is one of the highlights of my spring ever since I was 19 years old. Go check my Instagram page. You could see me hanging out outside of the Night of Champions. I think it was a 98 or 99 where I got to meet Sean Ray and take a picture with him. I'm not really as starstruck as I once was, considering I'm 36 years old now. But that was an awesome event when I saw it for the first time back when I was 20 years old with my friend. And that's the year that Paul DeLay won. I've been there when Big Ramy won. I was there when Marcus Rule won. I was there when Kai Green won. I was there. Who else can I recognize that I actually went? I think Darren Charles won it one time. And he's actually going to be in the Classic Physique division this week, competing against our buddy Arash. I'm actually rooting for my buddy, and if you have not picked up on some of the interviews with Arash on my channel, I suggest you do so. Check out our last two podcasts. Check out the Pittsburgh Pro Recap with Arash, and check out the recent podcast, if you haven't, where Arash, Stu, and I cover some debacles within the fitness industry that are receiving a lot of attention. I've already got some comments on it so far. I thank you for all the comments. I thank you for all the likes. I got some criticism over it, but I do enjoy receiving some constructive criticism sometimes. So thanks to everybody that posted. And let's get into today's topic. Today I want to discuss leg training for bodybuilding. Now, being a realistic person that I am, I understand that I am not the most genetically gifted person out there. However, I must say, got to give credit to yourselves when you deserve it, people. But I am kind of blessed in the quad department, and to a lesser degree in the hamstring department, and my calves are okay. So I think that I am fit to discuss leg training. I know there is a belief in the bodybuilding world in which the premise is that you should not ask someone to give you advice for legging muscle groups, because the person who has great muscle groups, the one that you desire to make larger, are genetically gifted. So whatever they do for the body part, they'll be successful anyway. Whether they do front squats, regular deadlifts, stiff leg deadlifts, lunges, whatever, walk up stairs, do sprints, whatever, they're going to have pretty nice quads. Now, I think that my quads have a decent shape. You could see it. I used my own quads for the icon on this video. Pretty much everybody in my family, my grandfather, on my mother's side of the family, my grandfather on that side, my aunt, my uncle, and I are blessed with quads, and pretty much even my mom, who does no weight training, has a decent quad development for someone that just takes walks. The shape is nice. And I guess we're just blessed in the department. If only I could be blessed in the pecs. I am certainly not blessed in the pecs department, but as far as the extremities, shoulders, arms, I think I'm all right. People could see my photographs on Instagram. I have nothing to hide. But let's get into the topic of leg training. Now, it is true that I have built my quads pretty much on almost nothing but squats and one-legged squat variations, meaning either front squats, safety bar squats, or back squats, usually back squats, and recently in the past year, I've really grown to like the safety bar squats. And let's say afterwards I throw in lunges or the one-legged pistol squats, and I've been good to go. Sometimes I've done a hack squat, sometimes I've done a leg press afterwards, but I have never needed leg extensions. I have never really used much pre-exhaust to build my quads. I've never used any whacked out rep ranges. Any rep range really has worked for me. 6 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 20. I've gone up to 20 before. Very uncomfortable, but I've done that as well for my quads, and they've grown all right from it. As far as hamstrings, I really have never used anything but glute ham raises or leg curls and stiff leg deadlifts, either with a bar or dumbbells. And my hamstrings and glutes are okay, but my quads kind of make them look small in comparison, or smaller. They are smaller when you actually go for what's symmetrical between quad and hamstring development. So the reason why I'm getting into this is because I've noticed a lot on forums that maybe there are guys out there who have difficulty building their pecs or lats, but it really seems that there are more guys having trouble building their legs than any other body part. And I don't know why it is particularly. I'm sure that many of the guys on forums, considering the forums I go to, have some really serious posters there, even some competitors. And look at me, I'm getting ready at 36 years old to do my first show. I really was serious on and off my whole life, but I'm kind of getting more serious about things. I want to get this out of my system, do a few shows in my life, and we'll see what happens. I do not plan on setting the bodybuilding world on fire, but I think I'm heading in the right direction with my legs. So, I don't know whether it's effort, they apply the same mental effort to legs, because the legs are a body part that really drains your whole body when you train them. If you're doing deadlift variations or squat variations, I'm sure the serious trainees that are watching my video can attest to this. I myself am a little drained today. I'm about to do cardio in a few minutes after I get done with this video. They can be very draining, actually leave you drained the next day if you push it too far. And that's why I suggest that when people train with a moderate to high volume, that they do not go all the way to failure, but only go to near failure. Again, with a moderate to high volume. And maybe it's the effort. Legs are not really the most fun thing to train for many people. It's very uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to have heavy bars in your hands fighting gravity. It's not like you could actually press a bar and press dumbbells where gravity might be working on your wrist to a degree, but it's not the same as holding it. Holding loaded dumbbells and barbells is very draining to the body, and also having a heavy bar on your back is very draining. And it's also very daunting. I mean, even though I can handle some okay weight in the squat, it's still daunting to me. There are times when I get to the gym and even the warm-up with, let's say, 135, is not daunting to me, but after a day of work of sitting on my ass in a chair all day, it feels like almost like a shock. Then progressively, the warm-ups start to feel like I'm getting in the groove of things, but it can be very daunting, actually. So you really got to get it in your head from a mental standpoint that this is going to be grueling work, but it is necessary, even when you're in the middle of that grueling set, to have the result of what you're doing on your mind. Just picture in your head the type of physique that you want, and that this pain is necessary to get there. And when I say pain, I'm just talking about discomfort. Your muscles feel, they're pumped with blood, they're innervated, you are panting, you are turning red, you're sweating, the bar is digging into your traps. I mean, maybe this sounds a little funny, but maybe that's one of the things that men have to get used to. Secondly, I don't think that some men use the proper rep range. I've noticed that my quads respond to higher reps, and many other people have noticed the same thing. It could be a rep issue, maybe. If you're one of these guys who just loves maxing out on the squat because you just love hearing plates cling on it and showing off to everybody how much you lift, that's fine too. Maybe if you're a power lifter, or if you just like training in the low rep range for some other reason to build your strength, relative strength that is, it's fine, but I don't think you will have the same results as you will get once you're experienced to go with higher reps, actually. And I'm talking 12 all the way up to 20 reps. Yes, it can be very exhausting. So we covered rep range, we covered effort. Exercise selection, I think most people know that to build the body the most, you really need a good foundation of compound lifts. But there doesn't have to be this marriage to the squat, and I think that probably this is the number one reason why men go wrong in this. They have a fear of doing anything besides a back squat, or a fear of using pre-exhaust. And to me, pre-exhaust really is the game changer for breaking up leg and body parts once you reach a certain level of development. So, if you are, let's say, glutes dominant, I do not think glutes, or let's say back dominant, I don't think the back squat is the best exercise for you, because all it's going to keep on doing is reinforcing your strong points. I believe that if you are, let's say tall or glute dominant or hamstring dominant, lower back, particularly strong lower back, I believe that you should do front squats or safety bar squats. If you're even keeled throughout your glutes, hamstrings, and quads, or the squat just comes naturally to you, I think the back squat is the best decision. And as I said, pre-exhaust, there's nothing wrong with pre-exhaust. Everybody has this feeling if you pre-exhaust, well, then you're going to be weaker on the compound movement. It's not as simple as that. It doesn't work like that. The exercise sequence does not have an effect on how big your muscle is going to grow. And anyway, even if you use pre-exhaust, so let's say you pre-exhaust your quads with, let's say, sissy squats or leg extensions or lunges before you do your squats, the whole goal with these two exercises, both the pre-exhaust exercise and the squat variation, is to get stronger on both of them throughout time. I'm really tired of this nonsense saying that bodybuilders do not train for strength. This talk is if bodybuilders wanted to somehow remain with the 135-pound bench press forever and thinking that they will have the same size body, upper body that is, by remaining with the same weight. That bodybuilders don't aim to get stronger. The only way to be a better bodybuilder is to get stronger. Even if you slow down your rep cadence and you focus on the so-called mind-muscle connection, the goal is still to progress with weight and reps over time with that form. So don't be all scared of this pre-exhausting. If you have not felt your quads in some time, do lunges or sissy squats or leg extensions before the squats and tell me if you have not finally feeling your muscles work. And I can assure you that if you don't feel your muscles working during a set, for any exercises, that's going to be one of your slower growing muscle groups. It's going to be a lagging muscle group. The same problem that I have with my pecs. I could not feel my pecs until I finally got my head on my ass and realized that I have no marriage to the barbell bench press, and finally started doing more hammer strength exercises or fly exercises before my dips and bench press variations with dumbbells. I only use dumbbells now for my chest, by the way. We'll talk chest training in another video. But there you have it. Exercise selection, effort, and rep range. Now, we could also go with the frequency thing. I don't really know for an experienced lifter if frequency is really going to benefit you more, but as long as you're training each muscle group with the body part split once every 5 to 7 days, I think the issue is more on exercise selection, but that's just my personal opinion. Once you start to feel the muscle working, you will notice an increase in fullness. I'm not going to bullshit people and say you're going to get pounds of muscle grown in a month, because we know that's all bullshit anyway. After a certain time, you don't grow pounds of muscle in a certain month, but you'll definitely notice an increase of fullness or shape to your muscle, which probably is from localized glycogen retention or some localized inflammation, but also I believe some localized muscle growth, maybe let's say grams of muscle there or ounces of muscle, but it'll have an effect. So there you have it. That covers quads. We already went through the frequency and rep range thing for lower body exercise, and I think that it applies to hamstring exercise as well. I've heard some nerds say that, the hamstring muscle is a slow twitch muscle, so you have to train it with low reps, such as the 6 to 8 rep range, and I don't really buy that either. I mean, I've had success training with leg curls and glute ham raises and stiff leg deadlifts for higher rep range, and it works just fine as long as you're increasing the weight over time. That's really what matters, folks. Working in a certain range for bodybuilding between 8 to 20 reps while increasing the weight over time. That's it. Whether it's a fast muscle group, fast twitch dominated muscle group, or a slow twitch dominated muscle group, as long as you're increasing the weight over time, the muscles will hopefully get bigger, provided that everything you're doing right, such as sleeping and eating and lifestyle management. So, hamstrings, really, again, if you're not feeling the hamstrings working, try pre-exhaust with glute ham raise or leg curls before your stiff leg deadlifts. I love this dumbbell stiff leg deadlifts. It takes a lot of pressure off the back. There's no need to be married to either the barbell straight leg deadlift or the standard deadlift. Trap bar deadlifts are pretty cool too. They put more stress on the hamstrings and ease the load on your back. I love glute ham raises. I worked into doing a large amount of reps, and when I first did them, actually, I could hardly do like 3 reps of them. They're great for your glutes. You haven't done glute ham raises in your life, you try them, you're going to notice a really strong contraction. You're losing a good pump there as well. And they're great to do before squats. That's another tip as well I should add with you, is actually if you do glute ham raises or leg curls before your squats, or even lunges before your squats, even if it's pre-exhaust like I'm doing now, actually, even though I have strong quads, I feel a lot more stable in the squat. I actually feel there's less of a shock. Like when I put the heavy barbell on my back, my body feels more stable. My body feels more pumped up to actually be safe during the squat. You'll feel more stable doing the glute ham raise or the leg curl before then. I know there's a guy out there that everybody loves, and I like the guy also. He's a good guy. People think that, he was like the forerunner of placing leg curls before squats. Now, he is giving good advice by saying that, but it's not unique. So, if all you sycophants out there think that I am plagiarizing this man, I'm not, because, anyway, you really can't plagiarize a routine anyway. No one has a copyright on saying that you... No one has a copyright on saying anything in this damn thing. The copyright infringement comes from literally taking someone else's written work and publishing it verbatim. But no one has a stranglehold on the order of exercises. I hope this helped you, actually. I mean, after a while, you realize that most training advice is basic, even for lagging muscle groups. But I really hope this helps you. And to recap, it's rep range, mindset, frequency, and volume. And volume, I think for bodybuilding, you should just use the standard 3 to 5 sets of 8 to 12 reps, or like with legs, 12 to 20 reps, and you should be good with, let's say, a rest period in which you could actually get your breathing back between compound lifts, or just when you're ready to go between the isolation exercises. But I hope it helped you. I think I do know about leg training, even though I'm kind of less in the quad department. So thank you for being with me today. I hope you found this helpful to you. And in the future, I'll be discussing how to train other body parts. Take care.